she was real. She never gave this persona of I'm the artist and I'm sorry I can't talk to you and I'm not gonna show you the real me, you know? And I think that's why she's still a part of one of the small reasons why she's still relevant so many years later, even though she's not physically here. Hi everyone, hola, ¿cómo están?
Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes. Thank you, Netflix, to start off for presenting this conversation. Before we begin our talk, I wanted to show you guys if we could please have a seat in the back room. Si por favor se pueden sentar. Shh. Gracias. Okay, so before we start our conversation with Isabel and Suzette, I want to show you guys the official trailer of Selena y los Dinos that dropped yesterday. So if we could please see it.
Yes. Yes, I am. I'm right here right now. Sorry. We're not on air, are we?
It was amazing how talented Selena was, even when she was very young.
My father's a manager, my brother's a producer, and my sister is a drummer in the band.
I got a complete group.
We worked as a unit. Selena had a very dangerous team behind her.
Selena was bigger than what she thought she was.
You have to sacrifice something in life in order to get ahead. No one in our family has a job. We make a living off of it. And that's why it means so much to us.
She had so much vision.
Ella me dio la confianza para ser una mujer hispánica que podía hacer lo que yo quería.
People imagine her as this force, but she had her vulnerable side.
I'm tired of being done.
For some little girl or some little boy somewhere dreaming, that's what the songs are for. They're for you.
I feel like the music will continue to grow. Thank you, Grupo Los Dinos. When I win, they win. And when they lose, I don't know them.
Selena brought hope for the Latinos.
La verdad me siento muy emocionada.
I'm very proud of her.
If you have a dream, if you don't try, you're never gonna know. So, I'm gonna try.
So I want to bounce off from what that one fan said in the trailer. Selena was my role model growing up. Through her and growing up watching Selena y los Dinos, I learned about the importance of family values, authenticity, passion, dreams, humility. So I wanted to thank you for being that in my life.
Thank you, Jessica. I appreciate that. Thank you.
To start off, I'm curious to know, we have this new Selena y los Dinos documentary with never before scenes. Like, these are scenes that you cannot find not even on YouTube today. Right. Nowhere, not even in redes sociales. Before we talk a little bit more in depth, I wanted to know, how did you guys meet?
Si permite, I can speak in English, right? Or in
Como
Spanish?
Como
maybe?
quieras.
Okay.
In Spanglish.
Maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, I wanted to create this documentary to be able to tell our family story directly from our family to everyone in the world, right? And so I had asked our lawyer, I reached out to our lawyer to find somebody that could do this for me, which is a director, And so, Lord behold, he brought me Isabel Castro. And I did a Zoom meeting with Isabel. Instantly, I knew that she was going to be the person to be able to tell this story for us. And the rest is history, and it comes out November the 17th, so I'm excited. And we become really good friends. She's an amazing person. She is a four-time Emmy-nominated writer. 5, oh my goodness, 5. She's a baddie in her own right, and a Latina, and I'm extremely proud that she was the one that is leading this documentary for us.
I love that. Tell us a little bit, Isabel, about your background in film now that you have all these, we know you're 5-time Emmy Award winner.
And I'll just add that in that one Zoom, we're both older sisters, and just something happened. We just immediately connected. So I just wanted to speak to how special that has been. My career. I had made a film that premiered at Sundance in 2022 called Mija. It's about young Latino women trying to make it in the music industry. So there were a lot of similar themes, and somehow they came, by they, I think Suzette's team came across it, and that's how we connected. Otherwise, my work has focused a lot on immigration and civil rights. So I've been doing this since I was 18, and throughout my career, that's been the focus of it.
And what inspired you to want to tell Selena's story?
I'm that same girl as you and the girl
in the video, in the
trailers are crying. That clip in that trailer always makes me really emotional because I'm Mexican. I came to the United States, and to me, Selena was really the person. Selena and Selena's music that the family created really was what taught me to be proud about having a bicultural community, ni de aquí, ni de allá. And when I was young, I found solace in her and in the family's music. And it really made me understand myself. And so when they reached out, it was like, everyone stop everything. It's like, hold the phones. So, it was obvious that this was important to me, and it's just been an honor of a lifetime.
I think it's so crazy because I'm Nicaraguan and I'm Miami-based, but I, from esta parte del mundo got that same impression, that you just mentioned. Like, we felt like we were part of the family. That's how the fans that grew up with her felt. Like, we were just part of the family. Selena was our sister, and we were just so happy when we would see her on TV.
I think the reason for that connection, and I still think that it still resonates today, is because she was real. She never gave this persona of, I'm the artist, and I'm sorry I can't talk to you, and I'm not gonna show you the real me, And I think that's why she's still a part of one of the small reasons why she's still relevant so many years later, even though she's not physically here. And I like to say it was a drummer, but I don't think that's right, Jessica, but still. But it goes hand in hand with other elements that are going on, but I do, in regards to what we're talking about right now, it's definitely because she was extremely real.
Now, Suzette, like I mentioned in this documentary, we're gonna see a lot of footage from her childhood, you guys as a band, from the early beginnings. How was the process of going back to all these photos, all these videos, and picking which ones you wanted to share?
Well, I really left that up to Isabel. I gave her the key to what we call the vault. She called it
I just learned it was called the vault on this trip. 3 years later, I've been calling it the closet, and Suzette's like,
it's a vault.
It's a vault. Like, a closet is small. That thing is big.
Yeah, it's a walk-in. Can you describe to them exactly?
The vault. So the vault was, she let us in on that first trip to Corpus, and it was like out of a film. We opened the door, and the light came out, and it's like, ah. And it's like a storage unit. It's like a medium-sized room, but there are the floor to ceiling bookcases with hundreds, if not thousands, of VHS tapes, Betacams, CDs, flash drives.
Where's my key? Where's my key?
I mean, the beginning of that process was interesting because, you know, we were so honored, but it felt like such a huge sense of responsibility. Like, it really felt like such a huge sense of responsibility. But really what we were doing was, we were reviewing it all with Ricky Vela, who works at Q Productions. He was kind of overseeing our reviewing process. Part of that process was also to try to find the best quality material. But it was a huge sense of responsibility. And so once we had digitized all of that and logged it, then came the editing process. And that's when we started to kind of rescreen everything with the editor. And it was really important to me that the archive tell the story. And so we basically strung out the film through the archive before we even did the interviews. But I will just say, like, to me, the most valuable, I mean, all of the footage obviously is valuable. It's all of Selena's interviews, all of the performances, but for me, the material that moved me the most was the material that was shot behind the scenes, that was mostly shot by Suzette, because those are the moments in which you really get a sense of Selena and of the family. And she's also a really amazing shooter. We try to, you know, what's in the film is as much as we could include.
And it's crazy because back then, when I was doing it, Selena, the whole band hated it. They're like, again with the camera, and I wasn't thinking about, you know, I got a VHS. I don't know, all of y'all look pretty young.
Technology back in the day.
But we used to wear the big one that you put on your shoulder.
Yes.
I had that one, and then I transitioned to a smaller one when it came out, because, you know, I'm an oldie but goodie. And I just documenting just life, you know, and it's crazy how, you know, it's not crazy, it's amazing how Isabel was able to take certain scenes and certain videos and create this amazing documentary that comes out, you know, in a couple of weeks. So I'm very excited, and I hope you guys are too.
Yes. Can we see one of those clips, please?
It was amazing how talented she was, even when she was very young.
I went and bought some instruments, got a bass for my son, Avi.
I'd put it on, put the tie on and everything, and I would get the bass, and I would look in the mirror and just like, yeah, I'm gonna be a rock star, man. I'm gonna be a rock star one day.
They started talking about, well, who's gonna play the drums? And I just remember my dad goes, well, we only have one more kid left. And then he looks at me, he goes, Suzette's gonna play the drums. And I look like, wait, what? No, Dad, no.
Get the drummer, get the drummer. Go back. The drummer's gotta get it.
Now we got the guitar player, the drummer, and the singer. I got a complete group.
Suzette, I'm curious to know. I feel like we've seen this like love-hate relationships with the drums for like so many times in all the previous projects, and you know, just I want to know when in your life were you like, okay, now I like the drums?
Literally, maybe, I don't know, but I know though, what I do know, and I can't tell you exact time frame, but what I do know is when she passed away, I missed it so much, you know, and I still miss it. You know, if you give me a little bit of tequila and there's a live band playing, I want to play the drums. Other than that, I don't don't yearn for it on a daily anymore, but at the beginning, for about 4 or 5 years after she passed away, I wondered, well, maybe should I start a group? Who do I play with? Like, you know, that whole thing. But I let that part go. But I do miss it, you know.
You inspired me to be a drummer. I'm not a drummer, but...
I was like, what? You're a drummer? You didn't tell me?
But I did play the piano. I played the
nice.
clarinet. It got to a point where I was like, I want to play the drums because of Suzette, but that never happened. But you inspired me.
There you
to
go.
be a drummer.
Let's start a band.
Yes, right here. Isabel, you know, we've seen projects like Selena, the movie, you know, starring J-Lo, Jennifer Lopez. We had the Netflix series also a while back. But what was your vision for this documentary, and how did you want to kind of extend out?
You know, we had a lot of conversations at the beginning about this, about how I think both I and Suzette and the family wanted this to feel like the most authentic version of their story, and we wanted it to be told by the family. And we wanted it to be told through the archive. And so my goal from the beginning was to just try as hard as possible to have both of those elements be the guiding force. And so, do you want to add to that?
Yeah, I do, because you know, you referred to the movie. The movie was shot literally, came out 2 years after Sister passed, and it was about basically it's 2 hours and 10 minutes does not allow us to be able to tell our family story. And that's a movie, so it's sprinkled with Hollywood glitter. The Netflix series as well, it's telling a story, so, and they're actors, and it is sprinkled with, you know, Hollywood, what I call Hollywood glitter. It's sprinkled with it. This documentary is completely opposite of the two. This is our family, Chris, my mom, my father, Abe, myself, our bandmates, telling the world our story of how we started from this and we created this. And that's what differs from what has been put in the past. Because I've been asked that, well, why now? Otra cosa, oh my God. But the reality is that...
You keep them coming.
Well, no, the thing is that a lot of people want to separate Selena from our band. And even though, yes, Selena was the star, and she will continue to be that, but there was another element that made Selena as well, and that was our family and our family band, and hits like Como la Flor, Biri Biri Bam Bam, you know, Amor Prohibido. I could go on and on and on, and I'm very grateful that our music is still relevant to this day.
And I'll just add one thing. I think that's a big focus of the film too, is to show the way in which this, you know, their music was a family effort, and to show the ways in which every single person participated in that. You know, I was a Selena fan, but I didn't totally understand the extent of it until I made this project. And so as I was discovering that, it was really important to me that that was a main focus of the film, and that's why it's called Selena y los Dinos.
I have the perfect clip to back up everything you ladies just said. If we could see clip 2.
Bailas de Cumbia was the first song that became a major hit. And it kind of sparked that whole cumbia craze. We need to do more cumbias now. We need to do more cumbias. And we did get a little hesitation not to do that many cumbias because we're not a cumbia band, we're a Tejano band. But then the label says, no, do all the cumbias you want. They work. Whatever you want to do, by all means.
A ver, Monterrey, que se miren esas palmas. Todos con las manos en alto.
Abe done a little changes on the cumbias, gave it a little flavor of funk, and that exploded.
We were really rewriting the rules, and I think A.B. was our leader in the sense that he was rebellious against the norm. And actually Selena too, because I mean, they were listening to a lot of pop, and we were listening to a lot of rock and roll.
And that's why Selena grew so big. and she became accepted in other countries. Cumbias, they were all major hits in the Spanish world.
Hubiéramos entrado así. How does it feel to give this type of access to the audience? Like these, how does it feel giving this type of access to these videos?
I am so happy to be here, and I'm so happy that you guys are able to see these clips because I don't think anybody's seen them, am I right?
Never.
No, this is the first
you
time
guys are
ever,
getting
y'all.
exclusive little clips, yes.
That's my favorite Selena song, by the way. Besitos. Yeah. Were you, Isabel, at any point intimidated to take on this project?
I mean, yeah. It was really daunting. And it continues to be. I mean, it's Selena's legacy, and you get asked to be, you know, a small part of that. And, you know, it's just, I have done nothing besides this project for the last almost 3 years, which is quite unusual. You know, because you gotta juggle various things, and but for me, I just wanted to make sure that all of my attention was on it because I wanted to be able to look back on this film for the rest of my life and say I gave it my all. I did, and everybody on this production team did. I mean, truly, like from the producers to the PA to the camera department to...
Wait, whoa, camera department. Do y'all want to know a fun fact? Tell them.
The camera department, all Latina, and I didn't
all
even...
women. All Latina women.
Yeah, which was, I mean, honestly kind of an accident. Like, I was just trying to choose the best people, and all of a sudden I was like, oh, the best people are all Latina, look at that.
That's like the Billboard Latin team. We're all Latinas too.
I was so, I saw them running around setting up, and I just thought they were part of the crew. I didn't know who did what, you know? And then when I sat down, I was like, what? That is the first. I've never seen that before, and I was so honored and thrilled that they were Latinas. 3 of them. Three women, camera women.
And yeah, no, and I mean, the camera department, the PAs, I mean, just shout out to, we gave it our all because of that responsibility.
I would like to see, before we start wrapping up, if we could see another clip from the documentary.
She was still in the early stages of picking out her songs and everything, but the fact that this English album is finally gonna happen, she was ecstatic about it. I mean, that was 100% her dream.
Feel more pressure right now, a lot busier, still touring at the same time you're doing that?
A lot busier, yeah. We're touring, we're trying to get in the studio and record the English album, trying to do all these other things. But, you know, you hope for something, you wish for things to happen, you know, when you're not doing as well. And when it comes around, it's like, oh, you know, you want to slow down, but you have to stop and think where you came from and you appreciate it even more. English was my first language. I've been, you know, listening to English music all my life. This has been something that I wanted to do for a very long time. You know, if you have a dream, you know, if you don't try, you're never gonna know. So I'm gonna try.
Man, you're gonna make me cry,
No,
Jessica.
we said we were not gonna cry, relax. Dreaming of You, you know, was released July after her passing. It made history as the first Spanish language album, you know, to ever debut at #1 on the all-genre Billboard 200 chart in 1995. Yeah. Additionally, it earned Selena her longest leading #1 on top Latin albums with 44 weeks at the top, the second longest by a woman behind Gloria Estefan's Mi Tierra. Yes. In the trailer, it's truly a timeless masterpiece. In the trailer, you say Selena was bigger than what she thought she was. Yeah. And I'm curious to know what her perception of herself was.
Selena was very confident, but yet she wasn't, if that makes any sense. I think that's what made the beauty of who Selena was. The team behind her was her family, so there was nobody there to feel things in her head. of your, you go, you're number one, you should be this, you should be that. And I think that's why she was grounded, because we just weren't like that as a family. We were just on the road playing, and I think that is the reason why, I don't know if I answered that question correctly, but that's what comes to my mind. I mean, she was just always grounded, and she never really thought about what we were doing. Things were happening in our career, and it was great, but it was like, okay, cool, this is awesome, and then on to the next.
Who would get the most excited out of the three siblings when you guys won an award, when you guys went to #1?
I mean, we all would. I mean, she was extremely excited every time she would win an award, or like the Latin Billboard Awards, and to perform was a great honor as well for us back then, because our genre of music in la música tejana, it's música tejana, in a world of like salsa, bachata, and so many different genres of Latin music. So we came in a little intimidated. Wow, we're at the Latin Billboard Awards, but oh my God, we're here. We're gonna do whatever we can. And the fact that we won, numerous awards from the Latin Billboards back in the day, it just speaks volumes of her whole mindset. She's gonna go for it. And I think that drive 100% came from my father and my mother.
Now, this documentary is obviously one of many ways that we continue to honor Selena's legacy. What do you ladies hope that, the OG fans, the fans who grew up with her, and the new ones who are gonna watch this take away from it?
I hope they take away, I don't know if they need to take away anything. I just want them to feel the energy and what we were all about. I think people have a certain perception. Some people do, some people don't. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, Jessica, of who we are, or how my father was, or this or that. What I would love for them to take away is that we are just a normal family that started a band that became global. And unfortunately, Selena's not here, but we are still celebrating what we did and created so many years ago. And hopefully, and I know for a fact, the main reason for my reason for doing this documentary was there is a whole we are 2 generations in of new Selena fans. Selena is not just a Latin artist, she is global. She is a global artist, and it doesn't matter what nationality you are, you listen to our music and they're fans. And so for that, I am grateful. So with the legacy of that magnitude, it has to be supported throughout the years. And this is a perfect platform of another reason why, and thank you so much. I want to thank Billboard for having us here, because you do understand the importance of who Selena is and what we created, and I love you guys for that so much. And of course, Netflix for giving us this amazing platform to be able to show the world our story.
I love that. Isabel, would you like to add to that?
Yeah, and I guess I'll just circle back to why Selena y los Dinos is important to me. I want people to see this person who represents a bicultural identity and be proud in that, whether you're Mexican American, whether you're bicultural in Europe or Africa or anywhere. I want people to see this and see how much joy and pride there can be in not being from here or there, but being from a mixture of 2 places. I think that's just so beautiful, and there's no one that represents it better for me than Selena. So I would love for people to watch it and see that.
I have to ask before we leave, y esta me salió ahorita como curiosidad mía. if Selena were to watch this documentary or like go into the vault with you, what would be like one scene that she would be like, why did you put that? Is there anything, you know her best, now saying that she was like half confident, half yes, half you know?
Well, I felt like that on every scene of me. I'm like, why was I wearing my hair like that? Why? I'm sure it would probably be almost all the scenes because how many times do we go back and look at old pictures and you're like, why did I wear that? Or, oh my God, look at my hair. I don't know, that's such a hard question to ask because I don't like to speak for her. Okay. You know, that's just a hard one to answer if you're asking me that from her perspective, you know.
Bueno, thank you ladies so much for being here.
Before I leave,
yes,
I do want to share one thing. This is the power of who we are as Latinos. I'm going to say it. This is a global launch, 190 countries and 32 plus languages. Woo! So I'm very proud of that, you know, and I'm so excited to be part of this amazing family band that we created, and I'm so honored that I was just played a small part of that, so thank you.
We're truly honored to have you ladies. November 17th,
Yes,
Netflix,
let's
Selena y
go.
los Dinos.